asked, many of you have, for my review of Disney's live-action Mulan. And difficult it is to put it into words. A fan I am of the original animated Mulan and its musical features. Truly hoping I was for something that shared its energy. Instead, treated I was to a disaster of epic proportions. Robbed the character of Mulan was of her personality, wit, and charm, and replaced with a Mary Sue. In fact, become even more basic, the live-action version of Mulan is compared to the animated one, as relies on the viewer's knowledge of having seen the animated film to understand certain parts of the live-action movie. Confused I was at first as to why I'd chosen this path Disney has, until realized I did, that simply more pandering it is towards the Chinese market. In today's China, why are Mary Sue stories so popular? Written originally, this article was 5 years ago, and the answers it contains to Disney's decision behind the live-action Mulan, as well as the Star Wars sequel trilogy. Continually dumb down the remakes Disney has, so unsurprising it is for Mulan to simply have become another Mary Sue story. Wishes one had, daydreaming about the kind of life actually must live that one life rather than frustrated adolescence has long been the refuge of. Pegged for, now this seemingly frivolous pastime is the basis for one of China's most popular fiction genres in recent years. The Mary Sue story. Twilight, Shades of Grey 50, The Empress of China, The Legend of Zhen Huan. Examples of Mary Sue stories are all interesting. So terrible the life can be for women in China that forced they are to use films as a coping mechanism for a surrogate existence. Now a common fantasy it is for adolescents to imagine oneself as an idol, much like a young boy wishing to be Spider-Man or an astronaut. However, those choices perfectly fine they are, because very cool Spider-Man is, and astronauts, very cool they can also be. Still, desiring to be Bella from Twilight, or Rey from the sequel trilogy, possibly a sign of impending mental breakdown that is. Generally used to describe a female character, the term Mary Sue is that serves the purpose of wish fulfillment for the author. An idealized version of the author herself, typically a Mary Sue character will be, being exceptionally beautiful, implausibly talented, devoid of flaws, beloved, envied, and admired by all other characters in the story. Boring! Often told I am that a total loser Yoda is, and a dumpster fire my YouTube channel also is. Have it any other way, I would not, because honest, it keeps me. Wish fulfillment, appetite for, based around courtship and romantic entanglement. A large number of Mary Sue stories are, and primarily adolescent girls, the audience for Mary Sue stories in China are. Fitting the description, Reylo is perfectly of a Mary Sue relationship, and no doubt after saving China, thousands of men thrown themselves at the feet of Mulan they would have. Forming the connections are, and hope I do that eye-widening this is for many of you. Harmful in creating unrealistic expectations, while overindulging in the narcissistic fantasies provided by Mary Sue fiction could be about real life. Unusual or unhealthy, there was nothing about the fantasies themselves, particularly during adolescence, when a person's imagination was especially active. Somewhat narcissistic, it is normal for a mentally healthy person to be, which in various ways can be expressed. Creating a mental stage, Mary Sue fiction does to fulfill people's desire for attention, to be cared about, and powerful, perfect, and flawless. Within these paragraphs, the key phrase is overindulging in narcissism is okay during adolescence. Understand you must that when in your 30s and 40s you are, and still obsessed with Twilight and Reylo, then in serious mental help you need. That said, failed Disney has to make the Star Wars trilogy, a non-Mary Sue saga. But perhaps turned out different things did with Mulan. Ouch! 5.9 million. Wrecked hard, they definitely got. Oh, remind all of you, I will, that 200 million it costs to make Mulan. So of all time, one of the biggest bombs this is. Hopefully, learn a valuable lesson Disney has and realigned their minds just a little to think more correctly from now on. And now, speak to Disney I would like to. A warning, if you will. The opportunity to make a Mary Sue story. When see it, you do. Bury it. Go to it, you do not. Dead, the Mary Sue is. Consider this mercy. You ignorant motherfucker!